Welcome back, everyone. Grab your popcorn because today's story is packed with shocking twists, emotional moments, and secrets that change everything. Let's jump right in. I tell you what, when word started getting around about this latest twist with Britt Westbourne, it stopped me right in my tracks. Here she is, running for her life, with little Rocco Falconeri by her side, and now it turns out the very thing that might save her could be sitting in some evidence bag at the PCPD, a used syringe of all things. The same one they found when they searched her room at Bobby's. I don't know about you, but that kind of detail hits different when you've been following these folks for as long as I have. Dante Falconeri went ahead and ordered a full toxicology test on whatever little bit of liquid was still left inside that syringe. He's not jumping to conclusions, mind you. Joe Fitzpatrick was the one who spotted it during the search and wondered out loud if it might be some kind of illegal street drug. Dante didn't think so. He knows Britt's been battling Huntington's, and he's wondering if that syringe might actually hold the medicine she's been using to keep the disease at bay. Just thinking about it makes my heart do a little flip. After everything she's been through, could the answer to her prayers really be hiding in something the police picked up off the floor? What gets me is how close they might be to figuring it out. The lab folks are going to break down exactly what's in that leftover fluid and in what amounts. If they can piece it together, maybe they can work backward and recreate the treatment Britt so desperately needs. It's a long shot, sure, but in this town, long shots have a funny way of coming through when you least expect it. And with Britt out there on the run, trying to protect herself, and that sweet boy Rocco at the same time, every hour counts. I keep picturing her face, you know? That mix of fear and fierce determination she always carries. She's been through so much already, and now this? It feels like the universe might just be handing her a tiny glimmer of hope right when she needs it most. Of course, nothing's ever simple around poor Charles. If that syringe really does hold the key to her medicine, who knows what else might come out once the lab finishes its work. Still, I can't help but feel a little spark of excitement. Maybe, just maybe, this is the break Britt's been waiting for. It's funny how life works in these stories we love. One minute, everything looks dark and hopeless. And the next, something small and unexpected shows up and changes the whole picture. I'll be sitting right here, same as you, waiting to see what those test results bring. Because if there's even a chance that syringe can lead to a real treatment for her Huntington's, well, that's the kind of news that makes you lean forward in your chair and keep watching, heart and all. You know, the more I hear about what's happening with Britt and little Rocco, the more it just sits heavy on my heart and makes me want to keep talking about it. Britt has already accepted that her Huntington's is going to keep stealing pieces of her until there's nothing left. She's not fooling herself about how this story ends for her. That's why she fought so hard against letting Rocco come along in the first place. She didn't want him watching her get weaker day by day. Didn't want him carrying that kind of sadness for the rest of his life. She figured the kindest thing she could do was push him away and face it alone. But that boy wouldn't budge. He looked her in the eye and told her he wanted to be right there with her for whatever time she has left. And somehow he got through to her. Now they're out there together, just the two of them, trying to stay ahead of everything and everyone. It breaks your heart a little when you stop and think about what that must feel like for both of them. Britt's out there knowing her body is going to betray her more and more, and still trying to protect Rocco from the worst of it. And Rocco, bless him, choosing to walk right into that pain because he can't stand the thought of her being alone when things get bad. They don't even know what's going on back home in Port Charles while they're running. They can't risk picking up a phone or checking in with anybody. Even those cheap burner phones can be traced if somebody really wants to find you. And right now, there are too many people who do. So they're cut off from every bit of news, good or bad. They have no idea that Dante ordered a toxicology test on that syringe they found in Britt's room at Bobby's. They don't know folks back home are wondering if whatever was in that needle might actually be the medicine she's been using to fight her Huntington's. It's almost too much to hope for, but I can't help wondering if that little bit of liquid left in the syringe could be the key to something bigger. Meanwhile, Britt has been working hard to track them down. The The last real lead he had was Britt's abandoned car near Akron, Ohio. After that, the trail just vanishes. The WSB can't pick up anything more, and I suspect that's exactly how Britt wanted it. She's run before, more times than most people can count, and she knows every trick there is for disappearing. She's smart enough to know they can't leave any easy breadcrumbs. No calls, no messages, nothing that could be triangulated back to them, especially not with Ross Cullum out there somewhere already putting two and two together and realizing that Rocco was the one who shot him. That changes the whole game. Now, it's not just about finding Britt. There's real danger following those two, and every mile they put between themselves and Port Charles feels like it might not be enough. I keep thinking about how lonely that must feel, even with the two of them together, out there on the road, not knowing if anybody back home is still fighting for Britt or if they've already given up. Not knowing that maybe, just maybe, that syringe sitting in some evidence locker could lead to answers. It's a strange kind of hope, isn't it? The very thing the police picked up during a search might turn out to be the one thing that could help her. If the lab can figure out what was in that needle and how much of it was left, maybe they could work backward and make more of whatever treatment she's been using. But Britt and Rocco don't know any of that right now. They're just trying to stay hidden, stay safe, and hold on to whatever time they have left with each other. What gets me the most is how brave Rocco is being through all of this. He's still so young, but he's made a grown-up decision to stand by someone he cares about, even when it's hard and scary. And Britt, she's always been the tough one, the one who pushes people away to protect them. Letting Rocco stay must have taken everything she had. I can almost picture her looking at him and finally saying yes, even though every part of her probably wanted to say no. That's the kind of moment that stays with you long after the episode ends. Dante knows the whole story now. He knows Marco Rios was killed because he tried to steal 2 vials of Britt's medicine, and those vials ended up broken down at Pier 55. He also knows that Britt has been working hard to reverse engineer the whole thing, and the best part? They did it. Britt's miracle medicine has been copied and recreated. It's sitting there waiting for her, ready the moment she comes home. After everything she's been through, after all the fear and running and uncertainty, there's actual hope waiting for her on the other side of this mess. Of course, there are still some loose ends that need tying up before she can feel truly safe. Ross Cullum needs to be dealt with, and from what I hear, that probably won't take long once the right people get involved. And Jen Sidwell needs to face justice for everything he's done. But once those two pieces are handled, there's nothing standing in the way of Britt and Rocco coming home. They can walk back into Port Charles knowing that the medicine she needs is already there, ready to help her keep fighting. All that's left now is for somebody to find those two and tell them the good news. Britt has no idea what's been happening while she's been gone. She doesn't know that the very syringe she left behind might have saved her life in more ways than one. She doesn't know that people back home have been working day and night to give her a real chance. I keep thinking about how happy she'll be when she finally hears it. After all the darkness and worry, there's light waiting for her at the end of this road. And for an old fan like me, that's the kind of ending that makes you smile through a few happy tears and say, well, it's about time something good happened for that girl.